External recruiters, or headhunters, supplement recruiting efforts. These are individual professionals and outside firms, small and large, which source candidates for an organization. While recruiters can specialize in a retained or contingency search, many will also perform both. Retained searches are when a recruiter is paid a flat fee to source and screen candidates until a position is filled. To have this type of relationship, a recruiter is typically a trusted partner. It's common for a retained search to be done for more senior positions and frequently is kept in strict confidence. In contrast, a contingency search is an open market search, so to speak, where most any recruiter could bring a candidate forward and she would receive payment, contingent upon hiring him. For both retained and contingency searches, there can be contractual guarantees to refund the recruiter's fee to Acme should the employee resign or be terminated within some time period, typically 6 to 12 months. So regardless of this type of search, a recruiter is a financial ante in the game that incents her to identify qualified, well-screened candidates. And while a contingency search could involve many recruiters, organizations would prefer to limit the number of recruiters they work with to a manageable number. As a result, a contingency recruiter could act in many ways like a retained one. External recruiters also will frequently specialize in specific industries or geographies. For example, one recruiter might specialize in medical devices or advertising, while others specialize in New England or the Northwest, while others specialize in types of candidates, such as junior military officers or engineers. Recruiters have built relationships with hiring organizations and in some ways have done the networking for you. Of course, their reputation is also based on the quality of their candidate slate, so recruiters can frequently be more critical of your background than their client companies. In a sense, they can be a primary gatekeeper for organizational decision makers. As a job candidate, you should investigate what recruiters exist in your industry and geography and reach out to them proactively. Consider them an integral part of your networking plan. A good place to start is to ask colleagues for the names and companies of recruiters they're familiar with. But like any networking opportunity, you don't want to blow your first introduction. Sending a "to whom it may concern" email is a whole lot less effective than reaching out to a specific individual, preferably with an introduction or reference from a person a recruiter knows. How you reach out to and work with a recruiter also tells her a lot about how you'll do the same with her client. Whether you're hired or not, her reputation and future business is impacted by how you interview, since it reflects on her ability to find quality candidates. Since a recruiter will debrief with the interviewers on how you performed, and assuming you interviewed well, even if you didn't get that particular job, you'll find her more confident and enthusiastic about discussing other positions with you. Of course, the opposite is also true. Qualified or not, if a recruiter gets critical feedback, the odds of her discussing other positions and organizations plummets quickly. When working with a recruiter, consider every interview as a door to several possibilities rather than just the position being discussed. The better you interview with any one organization, the more doors get opened. Another great attribute of a well-networked recruiter is she knows the individuals inside her client companies, their hobbies, pet peeves, interview styles, what interests them in candidates, and even questions they like to ask in an interview. You may also find that because of her knowledge of internal politics, she can help guide and advise you. A recruiter has a vested interest in candidates she works with. Good recruiters will help you prepare, and in some cases, even do mock interviews as if she was a specific interviewer at her client organization. Don't ever forget, the same recruiter you're working with is most likely working with one of your competitors. You should always ask the recruiter what strengths and weaknesses she and her client see in you, especially relative to other candidates. While she probably won't divulge confidential information, she could certainly help you understand areas for you to emphasize or address. You should follow up with a recruiter before and after any contact with her client. Beyond coaching and guidance she can provide, she also has a sale to make, and just like you, she wants to keep track of her progress. When you work with an external recruiter, it's helpful to ask what organizations she regularly works with and places candidates into, the latter being the most important. As a follow-up, inquire as to the number of candidates she's placed in, what jobs over what time period, as a proxy to understand her competence in an organization. More is usually better. As a candidate, paranoia is always a good thing. While recruiters are a professional bunch, there aren't many barriers to entry, such as licensure, so just about anyone can call themselves a recruiter. While she may indeed be working with a company, it may be limited simply to forwarding your resume. The best recruiters are professional matchmakers and speak to the hiring manager directly. Don't forget that as much as you may want a job, you are the product. There's no reason to limit yourself to working with just one recruiter, and definitely no reason to turn the management of your job hunt to someone else.